Yeah, well, I mean, things like Scour of the Weak are so much more valuable in these early skirmishes than a Gravity Field. You know, Gravity Field can help you run away, can set something up if you have a really nice gank assist, or it's a 2v1, but BD will always have more agency in the early game. He will always have less damage consistently in the late game. So that's what the difference between these two mages is going to be, particularly in this draft. But because Sivir is stronger, faster than Zeri, I think the Syndra does fit this this composition quite well here for KT if they could stack Drakes, if they could stack early objectives.
Yeah, the thing that is kind of cool about the Sivir and Syndra pairing specifically is the fact that aiming does do a heck of a lot of AoE. And there is a lot of single target focus for Syndra, but if you get all of your orbs on the floor, you have a lot of AoE CC. So that can create a bit of a playground for aiming to run around in, which I'm looking forward to seeing. Outside of that, though, I mean, Keen will just be a meatball in the late game, and Cuz is going to have to try and find these targets to set up for that first pick, that first unleashed power from BDD to start these fights off on the right foot. Whether they'll find the targets that they're looking for is going to be the big question moving forward, because there is a lot of cohesiveness for the late game team fighting of Quantum Freaks if they're on an even footing.
Yeah, Cuz comes over here, just going to clear this ward, and we talked about the laning phase for Bulldog and how he's been a bully against Syndra in the past on this Victor pick, but ever since Youngjae lost his flash, the danger of Cuz has pushed him back in the lane, and he is not actually pushing advantages anymore. BD actually starting to get more control in mid, which allows things like this roam here for Cuz, where he clears that control ward, and he's not committing to the gank, he's just paying a visit, because this lane, obviously, in the early parts can go Zeri Lulu favored.
Yep. Ooh, bit of a Doinby ultimate. Like to see it. Clearing out that wave, getting a nice back timing there for Bulldog. And BDD, let's see whether he actually is able to stop this. The answer is no, as he'll tidy up the wave pretty comfortably and head back home as well. So very even as far as that mid lane matchup is concerned. Decent CS gap for Taehyun and Jun, though, on that bottom side of the map.
With no flash here for Youngjae, knowing that Victor back, BD's just going to use his mana bar to push one more wave in. Easily done. And on the top side of the map, we haven't really taken much of a peek, but, you know, plated steel caps, as stated.
Stated pleo caps, indeed.
Yeah. Up here versus the Iron Spike Whip. Not a whole lot happening. And this is going to be KT taking the first Drake of the game here. With that timing of the back for Bulldog, you can't really do much to stop it.
Yeah, this is relatively glacial, isn't it, as far as the pace of this game? A lot of gentlemen's agreements. Youngjae throws out a flash and then opts out of the early game in its entirety. But KT, not going to push back too hard.
Without vision, actually, Atlas on where Youngjae was, and with that slight show there from Bulldog where he hit off the mid lane for just a second, Cousin Lehen's back off. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is what we're up to. With the lack of excitement, the most important thing is cannon minions. And we're not even going to watch Dudu because, you know, we could have been too sad if both of them missed cannon.
Oh, come on, that was a Drake denial, okay? By a vision. Nobody even showed up. It was just like, oh, I'm not sure.
Was it Drake denial, or was it we decided not to do Drake?
Yeah, it was a Drake cowardice.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, no, another one! Oh, dear, why did I draw attention to this? It's only sad. It's because wrapping around. Let's see what he's going to be able to get done here. Is Bulldog down relatively low, and now some action, Wolf.
Okay, very difficult to gank a Cassante when he's got his Qs empowered, but now that that's worn off, might actually be an opportunity here if Cuz can hit this. He's got flash to buffer his charge as well.
Yeah, Youngjae going to be starting off this Drake as Dudu. Let's see how he's going to be able to do it. He just dies. So we hold on to the ult from Cuz as well. And Keen's going to invest the flash to make sure that the gank is successful. So, the Renekton off to a great start.
Youngjae has ult here, though, and aiming has stayed, and they got the Drake. So this actually could be a cross-map opportunity for Youngjae if he can hit a big ult here. He's just staying on red buff, though.
Yeah, on the hunt was actually just used as well. Lehen's only level 5, at least for the moment. See whether level 6 is going to be collected here from the Yuumi. And like you say, dive opportunity. But is that too much action?
Yeah, I mean, for this game, I think so.
It may just be.
Okay, he's coming for it, though. Meanwhile,
power, BDD, not wanting to get stunned up, doesn't.
Bot lane.
As the Dark Sphere does not connect, as now we've got an ult. Final chapter coming through. Was used as aiming just says, all right, that's my spell shield. You can have it.
Can't hit the cat, she's on my back.
Exactly. Well, Youngjae being frustrating once again, throwing aliens around the bottom side of the rift. We do have a plate taken And you can see Taeyeon and Jun wanting to take even more than that.
I want to say that this is pretty good for Kwangdong Freaks because they're getting a lot of plate gold here for the Zeri. They also aren't going to be snowballed against on the top side of the map. Yes, Keen gets 2 plates worth of gold topside and grabs an assist. Actually, doesn't even pick up the kill. Just hold on.
Yeah, we're ghosting. Jun's going to have to flash. Taeyeon does get shielded up by the Whimsy, and Kuz just not quite fast enough. He's on a steed and everything, but it's not quite going to work out.
I like that, the steed.
Yeah, maybe it is a boar, so less, it's a lot more beefy and a lot more powerful, but maybe a bit slower.
Well, this is going to turn around at least the story of the plate gold a little bit for the bottom duo here of KT Rolster. They're going to get this crash through of the Herald. But Kwangdong, you know, they got a lot of money for this Zeri. Taeyeon picking up quite a bit of it on the bottom side there, and they did get the first Drake. So
yeah,
see how impactful this Drake ends up being as we have one bad one and one good one here. Still Infernal as a potential option if Kwangdong can stack things up. We talked about KT with this draft. They want to be looking for skirmishes and fights a little bit earlier. We haven't quite gotten to that first spike for the Sivir just yet. But, you know, letting Kwangdong have this first Drake definitely hurts for the momentum.
Ooh, that's a twisted advanced journey that Young Jay just went on. Bulldog making his way over. Jun's here as well, but just going to be Young Jay grabbing a phase rush and running away. And we'll head back to the river and collect his prize, which is that Rift Scuttler. Wolf, I got a question.
Sure. Len's just holding a wave. That's the most exciting thing about this game, so go ahead.
At what point does a story become a saga?
In terms of how many, like, books slash, like, iterations?
Volume?
Are you asking for, like, a number?
No,
or a time period?
Yeah, I'm just not quite sure. Like, what the difference between, like, a series and a saga is.
I think a saga means it has to be kind of somewhat chronological, right? Because you can have a series where it's not always in order necessarily, but there's like characters involved in the same type of universe. But I think a saga goes chronologically, I think. I'm not an expert on this.
Something that makes sense. I like that. I'm sorry, just throwing out a random musing because there just hasn't been all that much action. You're exactly right. Kuz takes a bit of damage here. We're not going to raise our voices too high or get overly enthusiastic about this point in time, especially considering the fact that it's KT.
I don't think there's going to be a saga of Dudu getting dove in this game. Just a solo death there on the top side because, or singular, I should say.
Yeah, it's a one-off.
Yeah. And Taeyeon pushing this lane in still has a pretty decent CS lead, but that's going to matter less and less as the game goes on as Keen.
All right, we're going for an ult. We're bringing the Crocodile away. Dominance going to be popped here as in goes Young Jay, flashing forward, and Dudu gets his revenge. Everything has been equalized.
Yeah, I want to watch this one more time because usually you have a pretty good idea as Renekton where you can be. I might have to wait till the replay though because we're going to see a cross-map dive set up here onto Taeyeon potentially.
Yeah, an attempt at least, and this is actually pretty sad for Kwangdong Freaks because last time they went for the cross map, they got themselves a Chemtech Drake. And now, KT might be able to get themselves a Mountain Drake.
Yeah.
That's way cooler.
Taeyeon's going to be fine here for the time being. They do have a control ward there. Cuz, even with ultimate and flash, isn't going to commit any heavier here because June finally has level 6, so it does have his wild growth. Not really a gankable situation, but like you say, with Syndra now having control in mid, they should be able to group up and make this a 1-to-1 Drake score. Just the wave clear you talked about too with this Sivir making an impact here. This is the Kraken Slayer spike I was talking about. You get this one first before the Zeri really wants to fight.
Ooh, there's the scatter. Bulldog taking a lot of damage. Permafrost comes down. There's the follow-up. But the gravity field is going to stop any of BDD's damage coming down, and he still has the ulti.
Yeah, really huge actually that he could stop that from happening. The ulti from BDD, almost enough to kill Bulldog, but not only does he survive because the ulti doesn't go off, but can actually potentially come back and contest and fight this Drake. And KT Rolster not going to commit as a result. They really wanted to get a pick for the Drake.
Yeah.
And they're unsuccessful.
And there's another thing that we really shouldn't start talking about because it's been a bit of a hot topic, and that is Rod of Ages being built here by Bulldog, likely to be followed up by that Arcane